So we know the difference between a checking and a savings account. The key question now is what kind of things do we look for? Because even within the same bank, there could be 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7, or 8 different types of options of checking accounts and savings accounts. And that's within the same bank. So what kind of things do we typically look for? Do you want an account for everyday use or to save? Is a good question to ask first. Do you want a basic card or a debit card? And basically, a debit card will allow you a little bit more flexibility in transactions, such as using them online. How much can you withdraw each day? If you're somebody that needs to have daily expenses and your daily withdrawal limit is $50 on an account or $25 on an account, will that be sufficient for you or not? So these are the kind of questions which you'll need to ask yourself before you sign up for one. Can you arrange an overdraft? So again, that gives you a little bit of flexibility for your account to go into negative territory. It's an option to have. Often there's a fee for doing that. So one should weigh up the pros and cons according to your own situation. Fees are very important. Fees on a checking account can sometimes be as low as $5. And that seems pretty low, but I look at that as being, well, $5 a month doesn't sound like too much, but over a year, that could be more than $60. So it's really important when you're looking at a checking account, have a look out there, see what other accounts are available, and make sure that you're comfortable with the amount of fees that you're paying rather. Can you set up direct payments? How easy is it to manage your account online? I'm somebody who's always using my phone. I'm very comfortable with my bank in terms of how it works online, but I wasn't previously. And the previous bank I was with, for me, it was a nightmare using it online. And although that may sound trivial, sometimes that can be important in terms of perhaps missing something which you would have already been known, which you would have ordinarily known about. Is there a buffer if you're slightly overdrawn? Some banks can be pretty, can penalize you pretty strongly if you go above your overdraft limit. It's a good thing to know what will happen if you do go overdrawn and if you go beyond the overdraft limit, just so you're aware of any potential negative outcomes. Here's a big one. Is there an opening gift when you open the account? Oftentimes, to get your business, some of the banks, and most of them do it, they will give you a gift, and that might range from a gift voucher to a pair of headphones to movie tickets. It's worth looking at. All of these questions, which hopefully we're all asking ourselves before we open a bank account, should really be taken in their totality. So don't be induced just by a sweet gift, which a bank is offering you, if the fees are very high. Is my screen still being shown?
No, it's not being shown right now.
Okay, let's get this back on.
There you go.
Back on? Perfect. And for a savings account, how much interest can you earn? It's a very important question, particularly for savings, because you're putting your money in the bank and you're putting away money which could have been spent today. So typically a bank will pay you interest, and it's really important to know how much interest you can earn, just so you can make sure you're choosing the right savings account for you. So having said all that, here's a pop quiz. So just to catch everybody unawares. So here's 4 accounts, and I've randomly picked on the Royal Bank of Canada. And here are 4 checking accounts which RBC provide within their bank, so to their clients. So the first one is called day-to-day banking with a $4 fee. The second one is called Advantage Banking with a $12 fee, and these are per month. The next one is Signature No Limit Banking with a $16 fee, VIP Banking with a $30 fee. So I'm not going to call anybody out, but just think to yourself, which of these would you, in your current situation in life, which of these accounts appeal to you the most? Just to add, if anybody's an iPhone user like myself, the 3 accounts to the right each offer a free pair of AirPods as well, so that might sweeten the deal. Okay, so somebody said Advantage Banking. Yeah, just give a few seconds for people just to think. Okay, so the actual answer is everybody's correct because the answer is it depends. So with any account, we always have to look deeper into the, if you will, just the headline statements and numbers which are offered. So just looking at these four again. So I apologize if the text here is a little bit small. So here's some more information which RBC provide about each of these accounts, which are not easily visible until you go to the compare option on their website. So that first account, which was $4, seemed pretty good to me. $4 a month, $48 a year. It seems pretty good. But then I'm looking at, so this is in the first column. That's that first account, which is in the first column. Every time I use a non-RBC branch, I will be charged $2. So if I think where I live, there's not an RBC branch anywhere near where I live. So if I'm using another bank to withdraw money, those fees can add up to the extent that they could actually be more than the monthly fee. So these are the kind of things which we also need to think about. Whereas on the second account, there's no fee for using non-RBC branches. Another thing which I wanted to bring to your attention again with the $4 account is if you're somebody that uses checks. I'm from a generation where checks were everything, but it seems to be less popular nowadays. But sometimes we do need them. A fee will be applied for each check which I write. Whereas for some of the other accounts, it's not necessarily the case that they're free. On the flip side, $30 a month for the all-inclusive account. I get a lot of benefits, but it's a lot of money which I'm paying. That's almost $360 over a year. So I say all of this just to encourage everybody, just to when you're looking at a checking account, and this is whether you don't have one at the moment, or this is whether you have one and you want to shop around, make sure whichever way you're doing it, do a compare and contrast of the different accounts. Make sure you're looking out for the fees, make sure you're looking out for the features, make sure you're looking out for the flexibility in terms of will you be charged per transaction and will you be charged if you're using ATMs from a different bank. So another pop quiz. Can anybody spot the difference between these two cards? And again, I'm not going to call anybody out, so just have a little think about it yourself. So these are just two cards, both for a checking account. So I'll give you some clues here. Both offered by the same bank, BMO, so no difference here. And I'll make it a little bit easier. And I will tell you that the fees for each of these accounts are exactly the same.
Jasmine said one is debit with tap, and Earl said it's a personal card versus a business card.
Okay. So the first answer was from who did you say?
Jasmine.
From Jasmine. Okay. I like Jasmine's answer. The second answer could be correct as well, and it is correct as well. But let's go with the first one. So debit with tap versus non-tap. So what is the difference here? This is the difference here that a debit card, which is provided by a bank, the one on the left-hand side allows you to use it for point-of-sale transactions. So it becomes a debit card in effect. So you can use this for purchasing goods or services at various merchants. You can use this online, and you can also use it to make payments for things which you're buying remotely as well. So this one, as Jasmine correctly said, you can use a tap, and it gives you a lot more flexibility, and particularly when you don't have cash and you're at a place where they do not accept cash, this gives you a little bit more flexibility. So again, these are some of the things just to think about when you're opening an account as well. So we've talked very briefly about saving accounts as well, and I'm sure all of us have heard about credit cards. And we've probably heard a number of things about them, ranging from I can't wait to get my first credit card, all the way to the other end to probably from our parents, don't you ever get a credit card because they're bad. Which one of those is correct? Again, it's neither. The correct answer is typically somewhere in the middle. So here's a few features. And I'd encourage everybody, and then this is the third and final pop quiz which I will give. How many of these do you think apply to a credit card? So a convenient way to pay, Is that true of a credit card or not? Is it free money? Is it a debit card? Is it an ATM card? Is it a way to build your credit score? Is a credit card effectively a loan? Is it unlimited money? Or is it more secure than cash? So I'll give you a clue. 3 of these will be correct, and 5 of these will be incorrect. Okay, so I'm going to give the answers in a moment. I'm going to check. See, Earl's put some answers in. Okay, thank you, Earl. I'm hoping that we've got some great students in here to get 8 out of 8 correct. So, convenient way to pay. It is a convenient way to pay. Many places will not provide, many places where we want to buy things may not allow us to use cash to pay, so credit card can be convenient. It's not free money, so the money that we do use on a credit card does need to be repaid. It's not a debit card. A debit card uses the money that you deposited into your account, whereas a credit card allows you, it's effectively borrowed money, which allows you to use money which isn't there yet. It needs to be repaid. It's different to an ATM card, which again is used for your checking account. Is it a way to build your credit score? Absolutely. I'm going to pause here and just go back to something which Nate mentioned. Everybody has 3 potential sources. One is your time, one is your money at hand, cash at hand, which you have available, and that may be in your debit or savings accounts, as we spoke to earlier. And the third one is your ability to borrow. Credit cards are a potential ability to borrow because it effectively is similar to borrowing. But a good use of your first credit card, particularly at your stages of life, could be a way, if done properly, to build up your credit score. And as we go through these series of events, we'll get more into the importance of having and maintaining a strong credit score. Is it a loan? It's not a loan. A loan has particular repayment terms to it. It's definitely not unlimited money, although I wish it was. And is it more secure than cash? Absolutely. So again, just think of a couple of scenarios. For example, if you're on vacation or if you're going to an event where there's a lot of people, having things on a credit card, particularly with the insurance that it provides, can make it more secure than carrying around a load of cash. Always check your statements. So for credit cards and for your debit account, your checking account, it's very, very important